Hey everyone, welcome to this lesson where we're going to tackle the very exciting subject of creating and modifying layers. So let's get to it. First, there's multiple ways to create layers. So let's start with the most obvious. So we can come out over here and click on New Layer, and notice it's Control-Shift-N, and that's what I use. And we can see some just basic properties with this pop-up. We have the name, very self-explanatory. We have the option to create a clipping mask. So it says use previous layer to create a clipping mask. We're going to get into the clipping mask layer type in another lesson, but just know that you have this option here. And you can also color it. So this is very handy for purposes of organization. We'll make this red just to show what it looks like. And then we have the mode right here, which is again just another option of specifying the layer blend mode over here. And then the opacity gives you that quick option to access this over here. So we'll go ahead and hit OK. You can see how it changed this section right here to red, which we specified. If you ever want to modify something like that, you simply just right click on the layer and we could specify no color or a different color here. Okay. What is another way that we can create layers? Well, if you come down here, we can click on this little icon. If we click on it, you'll see it automatically creates and names the layer for us without giving that pop-up that we had before. So Control-Shift-N first gives us this dialog box where we can specify options, and over here we can simply click this, and this is handy particularly when you're working on a project that has a lot of layers and maybe you're working on a Wacom tablet of some sort. You could just very quickly click on that. Alright, so I'm going to back up here. Now you can also create layers in other ways. So we look over here in the tools, we could see that we have several different tools that have the potential to give us new layers. So the first one that we could focus on is the type tool. So if I just click right here and notice it's currently on a layer called background, which is locked. If I simply left click, we'll see it automatically adds layer 1, and we'll name this hello. And switch to a move tool or a different tool, and it names it automatically based on the content here. Very, very simple. So that's one way to create a type layer. Then we have over here the pen tool. All right, so you want to make sure it's set on shape. And if we just start clicking like that, we have our shape 1. This is a shape layer. And if we continue to add another different shape, you'll see we have shape 2. So it's automatically creating the layers for us based on whatever we do over here. All right, so I'm going to delete those two. And then we have over here the shape tool. So we have a rectangle tool. It does the same thing as the pen tool, except it's going to be rectangle based. And you can see it creates and names it appropriately so. And same thing with all of these other shapes down here, these shape creation tools. We even have a custom shape tool where you can choose some predefined shapes in this list. Okay. That's basically it when it concerns creating layers. Now, to delete a layer, you either select it and hit the delete key like that. If I bring that back up, we can also delete it by dragging it here to this little trash icon. Very, very simple stuff. Now, when it concerns modifying a layer, you mainly do that in 3 different ways. You can adjust the actual contents of the layer over here in the canvas, which could include changes to size, positioning, color, etc. Or 2, you can change the layer's blend mode right here. Or 3, we can give it a layer style over here. And that's basically how you're able to create and modify layers here in Photoshop. So in the next lesson, we're going to examine the difference between shape layers, which we lightly touched on over here, and raster layers. All right, I'll see you then.